Good morning. The situation in the pulp market today is less positive than we had been expecting a few months ago. The contraction in demand due to the unexpected destocking process by the paper industry has pushed pulp producers' inventories higher and has pressured pulp prices down. Prices in China are already below the cash cost of the less efficient producers. Normalization in demand and production cuts announced for the second half of the year should improve pulp prices over the coming months. Medium term, prices should reflect the lack of major capacity additions until the second half of 2021. Against this backdrop, EBITDA in the pulp business declined by 42% in the first half due to, firstly, the adverse effect of exchange rate hedging sentiments, secondly, a higher percentage of sales in the spot market outside of Europe, which lower our average sales price, and thirdly, a drop in sales in order to build up inventories by over 20,000 tons ahead of the expansion work at Navia in October. On the other hand, EBITDA in the renewable energy business increased by 30%, driven by the inclusion of the solar thermal power plant in Puertollano. The energy business annual EBITDA will be closer to 100 million euros with the inclusion of the two new biomass power plants starting before the end of the year. In the pulp business, the addition of 80,000 tons of capacity at the Navia biomill will be carried out in October. Meanwhile, the engineering and permitting work of the new 340,000 tons swing line in Navia is advancing. The board will decide on the timeline for the project at the start of 2020, factoring in prevailing market conditions and our willingness to keep net debt to EBITDA below 2.5 times in this business. For Ence, our financial discipline is more important than to commission this capacity 1 year sooner or 1 year later. We are currently focused on the cost-cutting program launched in July in order to ensure delivery of our business plan targets. At the same time, Ence continues to defend the legality of its concession in Pontevedra until 2073. Note that the legal proceedings could take as long as 4 years. The draft amendment of the coastal law initiated by the authorities will allow for the concession extension until 2033. Lastly, a first interim dividend of 5.1 cents per share will be paid in September to comply with our policy of paying out 50% of net profit. Many thanks.